Hello and welcome to Ninja Bill Reviews, and I am beyond humbled and excited to review this toy. I'm just over the moon. This was sent to me by a good friend of the channel, Jimmy from The Good, Bad, The Awesome. Make sure you go check out, I'll include a link down in the description below. Make sure you go check out his channel, and oh man, this is pure nostalgic bliss. This is the Machine Wars Optimus Prime from, I think, 1997, and we'll take more look at that box later. But yeah, this is a beast, and it's amazing. And I'm not going to put the stickers on. I'm not sure what I did with this. I think I put the sticker sheet up, so you won't be seeing that or the instructions right now because I've already put them away. It's been a couple of months since I've got this. As a matter of fact, I got it for Christmas last year. As you all know, I took a hiatus from the channel, and I'm just now getting back into it. I put up a picture review of this, but this is the proper review. Hopefully I can keep it within 20 minutes because there's a lot to go over with this. So let's just go ahead and get this started, and we'll start by looking at that box. So I'm going to pause this. I have to raise up the camera a bit, so I'll be right back. Okay, and here we are, and this is the box. Now it is a little beaten, but again, it's from 1997. Look at that logo, that's amazing. It's the top of the box. There's truck converts to battle robot. A high-tech command station, and a high-tech. Now, the amusing part of this box is, here's the front, and we'll talk about what I was going to talk about. It says, truck converts to battle robot and high-tech command station. Machine Wars, across the top there, Transformers, heroic Autobot, Optimus Prime. Warning, there's a nice image going on there of Optimus Prime. Again, we'll talk about that in a moment. On this side, you have Machine Wars, Transformers. That image, once again, heroic Autobot, Optimus Prime. You saw the top of the box. Whoop, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. This is the top. This is the bottom. Very cool. And on the back, oh, this is the other side. Just, once again, that nice image. And on the back of the box, you have the instructions. Of course, it's not necessary. Adult supervision may be necessary for younger children. There you go. If you want to pause this and look at it, be my guest. There you go. Make sure to get that glare out of there so it's all really cool. Step-by-step instructions. And, of course, it comes with tech specs, which I miss. Machine Wars. Now, let's talk about this. Here's a good look at that tech specs. If you want to pause to read that, be my guest. But this image of Optimus Prime here is not of this toy, all right? This is the Laser Prime, all right? That is what this is. This is the Laser Prime. Look at the feet here, the knee, how the knee is, the shoulders. Look at the head. Look at that. Okay, that is the G2 Laser Prime, all right? So why they included an image of him rather than the image of this actual toy, I don't know. But that is the G2 Laser Prime, not this one. So, but once again, that is what it is. Look at that. 10, to infinity and beyond. Get rid of the box. And I'll be right back. Alright, and here we have the toy. I dig it. I dig it so much. And again, this is from 1997, but man, it's fantastic. And quick comparison, we'll set that over here. We'll set that back there. Here is 86 blur. For quick comparison for scale. That's how big he is. So, and yes, mine does look different because, you know, I have custom painted it to my tastes. So did some color matching and all that good stuff to finish the look, so to speak. So, yeah. Anyway, get that out of there. Who else can we compare? Well, I have my Titans Return Megatron here. I don't have a lot of primes right now. A lot of things I put into storage, so this will have to work for comparison. So, you know, I don't have a lot of current stuff, but there you go. So that's also love this toy. I like the Blitzwing too. I've got Blitzwing in storage, but this is a great toy too. So one of my favorite molds from Titan's Return. I dig it. All right, and here it is, and we'll start by looking at the cab. And here is the cab. We'll zoom in a bit. Why don't we? There we go. It's the cab. Lots of molded detail in there. Clear blue windows, light blue windows. Clear plastic going on there. Black. Otherwise, it's just this gray color. It would have been nice if they painted in those lights. And he's got some nice cannons going on up there. So, in the cab, which is pretty cool. No smokestacks. Not on this mold anyway. Because this is a remold. So, what was I saying? Okay, sorry, I had to leave for a moment. This is a very slight retool and recolor of a European-only release of Thunderclash. And that's who this was. Thunderclash had some real GPS problems, by the by. If you have a complete one, bravo to you. Never, ever take it out of the box. Just leave it there, observe it from afar, stick it in a bin somewhere, you know, down in a basement corner, protected by force fields, because that thing is just brittle as heck. But this is pretty nice. I dig it. Again, lots of molded detail. So the Machine Wars line. All right, so at the end of the Generation 1 toy line, Europe got a bunch of releases that we in the States never got. And he is from that Thunderclash of that line. So anyway, moving right along, there we go. Lots of molded detail. And again, the stickers, they're too old. I'm not going to try to take them off the sticker sheet and apply it. I'm not going to do it. Hopefully someday Toy Hacks does them. But in the meantime, like I had messaged Patriot Prime, he'd done his review shortly before I got this last year, and review of his, and I sent him a link to someone who is printing labels or stickers for this, so hopefully he got those and did it. But anyway, here you go, and you can see his rifle in there. Again, lots of molded detail. Even I love the fact that the back is covered up and there's not a big hollow chamber in there. I like that. It's like thrusters back there. That's pretty cool. And then molded detail inside those. Oh yes, there is. Look at that. There's a bit of molded detail in there. That's pretty cool. See, that's when they really cared. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Set that aside. Here is the trailer. Now, if you wanted, you can store the rifle right there in that port. Nice white and blue lines, Autobot symbol. Again, tons of molded detail on this thing. Tons of it. And I love it. Here's the front. That is not a head. And I'll talk about all the accessories as we move along. And viewfinder. There you go. For the battle station, and look at that. That would have been nice to have been picked out in paint, maybe a gray or blue and white or something, but that would have been really cool to have that picked out in paint. Got some lights that's not picked out in paint either. Same thing on the other side. It's really cool. So, one gimmick here is you'll see this button, and if you press that button, these flip down. Oh, the missiles. I don't know what I did with the missiles. It came with missiles. Be right back. I'm frantically searching for the missiles that I think I've lost. And I'm like, oh, great, I've lost them. And then I picked this up and I was like, what's that rattling? I put them inside here so I wouldn't lose them. Anyway, so one of those things. All of us have experienced it. Okay, so you push this button, and these pop down. Let's try that again, and only make sure it's in view. Boom, just like that. Now, I have the missiles stored back here, and all you do is pull this back and pull it out, and there are the missiles that I thought I lost. You can store them inside if you want. We'll get get to the rear of that trailer in a bit. And each one of these will look like this. So got some nice molded detail on there. And they just plug right in via those slots, and they are spring-loaded. I miss spring-loaded weapons. There you go. And to fire them, you have little tabs right there. See those? And you just... And they got some real force. And I hope did I lose? Nope, got them. Haha, there you go. So, that is pretty cool. Another thing you can do is... So, on the original toy... you could load little missiles or rockets into these channels, right? And they would fire out. So they would fire out. It would get loaded into here. This is now blocked off, but they would be loaded into that in base mode, and they would fire out because that's the loading rack right there for those missiles or rockets that are no longer present on the toy. So they would come down this channel. And again, it's all blocked off now, but it was a pretty cool feature. Anyway, so once again, quick comparison. We'll put that right there, and we'll bring out the 86 Optimus Prime's trailer, and to pull back some. Actually, there we go. There we go. That's pretty cool. Sit that there. That's how that stacks up. Make sure it's flush back there. That's how it stacks up. Sorry about the bumpiness here. There we go. That's how that stacks up. So it's a little slightly taller than the 86 Prime's trailer, but 86 Prime's trailer is slightly longer. So about looks to be almost half an inch. So about 3/8 of an inch, something like that. Anyway, there you go. Get rid of that. I have a review coming up because Jimmy sent me this as well. So I have a review of that coming up as well. We'll get rid of that. All right, so those two accessories there. So another accessory comes with is this, and you just, once again, you pull this back. If it lets me get it, pull this back, and this is the rear door. Got some nice molded detail in there. Pretty cool. Again, this should really been nice if it had been picked out in paint. So there's the opposite side. And of course, his rifle. We'll get that out, if I can get it out. Sometimes a lot easier said than done. Here's nice clicky ratchets in the background. This is the rifle. Just done in black plastic. So not everything was painted back then as well as we remember. There you go. And one final accessory is this entire top. It is a component in itself. You pull this up. Come on. There we go. Pull that out. And this entire thing was an accessory. So this entire unit was an accessory in of itself, and it's got some nice, got some clear in there. It's pretty cool. Got some clear plastic and clear blue plastic there for like the sights or for, I don't know, but still pretty cool. Again, lots of molded detail, and everything still works just like it should. So he can't hold it or anything, but there is that. And we might as well just go ahead and transform the trailer. I like the interior of the trailer, I do. But you go like this, right? You go like this, and by the way, here is the bottom. And you go like this. You flip this up, flip this, flip this, flip that. Has a nice cannon right here, which you can use. There you go, sort of by itself. Even if you don't use this, you still have that going on. And again, molded detail on the interior. Look at that. Nice grated in there. So, still pretty cool, but you got this big laser cannon going on there. So, and what you're supposed to do is you take this, flip down these ramps. So it doesn't, I can never seem to get these just to be flush on any surface, but this is basically what you do. Take that down, you straighten that up, and you take this whole thing, flip down those guns or rocket launchers. Pretty satisfying click there. There you go. Flip that forward. Now once again, in the Thunder Clash, you had rockets which would slide down there into this mechanism, which you can see a little bit of it there. So see that, how that popped open? Boom. So it still has that part of the functionality, but everything else, you know, like where it would have slotted into, there would have been an open chamber here, and they would roll down this thing as you fired them, slot in, and be ready for the next one to fire. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't function anymore, but that's where you would have loaded them. So pretty cool. There's the back of that. Swing these out. They are handles for Optimus Prime. Boom. Boom. Just like so. All over. And then via that port right there, that peg right there, you simply put it into there like so. And you take this right here, and you're gonna see two square ports there, and via those you would set that right in there, and that would be where you stand stand Optimus Prime at. And yeah, I mean, it's, hold on a minute, I'm gonna have to take my camera off here to get a good view of that. So I mean, it's rather large. Let's see if I can remount my camera here. See if I can get a large character for comparison here. We'll sit that back. Hold on. All right, here is a modern with a Voyager. And once again, I'm going to have to take my camera off here. Ugh. There we go. That is Barrack. So it turns out to be a pretty big station. So pretty good size. We'll remount my camera here. Once again, I'm sorry for the unsteadiness. It's this thing is a lot bigger than it looks in images. All right, it really is. So there we go. Steady that camera. But we'll get rid of Farrak here, and we will move on to Optimus Prime himself. We'll get that out of here. And here is Optimus Prime. Already at 18 minutes, so I got to move right along here. This is Optimus Prime. Transforming rather simple. Go ahead and flip those feet down. They are all, this whole leg is attached together right there, so it doesn't split apart or anything. Move that down. Nice ratchets. So you got that going on. And what you can do is you come back here, flip open that, flip up the head. Don't close this yet. Then split the front. Split the front. Come on. Split the... I hate this part because it's so old I don't want to break it, but it doesn't always... There we go, because it swings out on those joints right there. And they're friction joints, but I don't want to... There we go. Flip those out. Flip the arms down. There you go. Flip the chest down, and again, molded detail inside there. Focus. Focus up, camera. Oh, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. Nice molded details inside there. He doesn't come with a matrix, so sad, but not even one molded in. You know, and you know, I suppose you could, you know, take a matrix and, you know, throw it in there if you wanted. I'm busy repainting this one. It came with a Optimus Prime toy that I just reviewed, and I'm repainting the entire toy. But yeah, you know, it could work in there, I suppose. But anyway, flip that down. Now you flip the head up, boom, and that completes the. Whoops, almost flip that back up. That completes the Optimus Prime. And there he is. Let me lower the camera. Boop. Adjust. There we go. And to completely complete him, you take his rifle, and that's just not an Optimus Prime rifle. Again, this is a remote of Thunderclash. So take that, stick that in there. Boom, just like that, and that is Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And quick comparison again here is with Varric. There we go. So you can see the scale going on there. So yeah, get that out of there. Go away, Varric. Nobody loves you. Anyway, here he is. We'll zoom in. And that is just not Optimus Prime's face. Look at that. But still pretty cool. Got some molded detail venting in there. Otherwise, got some fudge there. There we go. So, pull back. Got green arms. Just odd colors on for an Optimus Prime, but there you go. Door swing. The front of the cab swings out and become his arms. He's got no head articulation. The only real articulation he's got is the arms will move up that much and move down that much. That's it. He's a brick. I mean, suppose you could fold him like this. I mean, he can look down. I guess that's some articulation for mini-bots, you know, when he's talking to mini-bots. But, yeah, he's not very articulated. But still, you know, looks really cool. Got some light piping in there. So, see if I can... No, it's dead eyes with light piping. Dead eyes. Again, green in there. I'm not sure. It would have been nice to have silver inside here. There's a lot of stuff that would have been nice to have been picked out in paint, but they didn't. And again, this is a reuse, so they made an Optimus Prime out of Thunderclash here, and it works. But you know, it's not really Optimus Prime. That and the fact that it's got the G2 Laser Prime as his box art, it's a strange toy, folks. It's a strange toy, but something I love. So we'll get him on his battle station. Here, we'll set that right there. Here's his battle station. There we go. And what you can do then is, man, it's just so awkward. All right. You can set his feet on this, and his hands can hold the handles that are right there. This weapon can go right there. So it just plugs in, boom, just like that. And you will take him, set these like that, set these like that. See if I can get it. And camera here. There's one. There's two. Set him straight on there, boom. And now he is arming and manning the battle station. There we go. And yeah, it's there you go. And once again, I'm gonna have to take this on there so you can get the full effect. So there you go. Pretty cool. I really like it. And of course, you got those. So back in the day, you had to use your imagination, you know, because those aren't level. It'd have been nice, but, you know, you imagine that they're sitting on the ground. You imagine it. Again, look at all that molded detail inside there. It's just crazy how much molded detail is on this toy. But again, you know, Really, 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 really cool toy. One of my favorites and one I always wanted. And thank you very much, Jimmy, for sending this to me. Let's get the camera mounted back up here. And we'll bring this camera down. And I'm going to real quick transform him off camera, and we will get to final thoughts. So real quick, I suppose you could, imagine that he's flying around like that's some sort of thruster, and he's flying around on this thing and choo. I just noticed this when I was about to transform him, but these appear to be cracked. Look at that. If I can get the focus in on it. Hold on a minute. Let's see if I can get that focused in. That's as much resolution as I can get out of it. There, see that? Right there. I'm not sure you can, but it's a hairline fracture right there. See that? And it's the same on the other side. Look at that. See that? So, not great. But that is there. Yeah. So zoom back out all the way here. And yeah, so I imagine you can, like these are rockets and he's flying around and shooting people with it. So yeah, just wanted to quick share that bit of imagination. And gotta go ahead, man, it's 26 minutes, man. 26 minutes. I was hoping to do this in 20. So I'll get this back into his vehicle mode and we will get final thoughts and get out of here. So here we are, and once again he's transformed and properly. I've got the missiles stored up there. But once we're done with this review, I'll probably throw them back in there, and let's hope this time I remember that's where I stored them. I'm never gonna get that leaked out. Anyway, by the way, not much in the way of turning this cab with the trailer, but there it is. Anyway, I really love this thing. For its period. Now we got to talk about. I talk about all the things I would have liked, but this is from a more modern take. This thing, we have to go back and look at the toy from the period that it was released. And in that period, this was a fantastic toy. There's no shoddy materials. This thing is built solid. I don't really feel like anything's going to break. Of course, if you don't apply too much force, it will, but it's still a really solid toy. It looks good, despite all this green here. I'm not sure Optimus Prime needs green on him, but the gray is acceptable for his trailer. I don't like it being gray up here. I don't much care for that. I think red would have really, really done well for him, but otherwise it's a great toy. Lots of accessories, tons of playability. It's got a base mode, and again, tons of accessories. This big whole honking thing is an accessory. It's got the 2 missile accessory, a rocket or a rifle accessory, and it has a spring-loaded gimmick, 2 of them as a matter of fact. This one, where those swing down, which you can use in alt mode, and of course firing those missiles. This is a fantastic toy. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. This has been my look at the Transformers Machine Wars from 1997 Optimus Prime, and I love it. Make sure you check out my playlist. Please click that like button. That is so essential to my channel. You really need to click that like button. Make sure you visit Jimmy's link that I'll have down in the description below, and above everything else, be good to each other. Future Ninja Bill here. What I forgot to talk about, he does have a cavity in here, but you can't really store any cars in or anything, but I'm just storing the accessories in here, so they store fairly nice in there. So anyway, back to the review.